It's tabletop time!
And I am Dave, and this is Reboot, and what may well be the second last episode of Reboot Season 2 and season finale. The end.
Spooky.
This isn't Game of Thrones. There aren't going to be 8 seasons and a reboot. There's just one reboot.
Disappointing for a frustratingly long time at the end.
So basically, I just wanted to open the night and say that we're here for the ride. It's been a great journey, but we're coming to a conclusion. So before our lovely players introduce themselves, I want to give everyone a warning, and that warning is I'm a very gentle DM. But not anymore. So
we all know how season 1 ended.
With no lasting consequences for anyone because I'm too soft and everything was fine. He grew them back.
I played my trauma.
He grew them back. Okay, so basically what I was going to say is from this point forward, looking like probably we're in the last 2 episodes, things could happen, whether they be for good or ill. And I don't want players to feel like they need to necessarily like play a certain thing or do a certain thing for a certain outcome. For example, like if a player was just like this, someone offers me $1 billion and says, "Come with me if you want to live," they might just be like, "Okay," like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the end of the campaign. We're not coming back to these characters. Do what is right for your character. But understand that the actions that you've taken for the entire campaign and also the actions you take in the next 2 episodes are all going to sort of have final consequences. We don't need to worry about player cohesion or party cohesion or what happens next. We can split the party. We can kill the party. The party can all have a big, fun time with each other in bed. I don't care. The point is...
He knew my plan all along.
That's it. So who are you all?
Who wants to start?
Hey, I'm Peter. I was once a kid called Bro, by his own choice. Raised in captivity with only one friend, Riley. I escaped by the skin of my teeth. I spent my waking hours trying to find her, but also trying to find the people that I hurt. You see, I was in captivity by an organization that made me do horrible, horrible things that I regret and that keep me up at night. But I'm a new man. I have new skin and a renewed need to undo the wrongs I was made to do. To be a new me.
And I'm Seb. Billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. He's undergone some trauma. And he's not quite sure where he sits in the world or what he wants the world to be in that he's sitting in. And that's still up in the air.
I am Eve. I am your friendly neighborhood nurse bot. How can I be of assistance? I too have gone through trauma, like everyone here. But perhaps I try to be the light that can help those people.
I am Murray, and I am playing Elias. Elias is a professional career soldier turned bodyguard and questionable worker for Niall. He started suspecting that Niall was up to no good, dabbling in a bit of human trafficking, as companies do, and has seen to do a bit of personal private investigation to try and get to the bottom of this. It has led to some dead ends, bottom of whiskey bottles, and some dead people who probably didn't deserve to die.
And I will say, we do have it in the entrance, but for those who've come this far, I believe you will be aware of the setting. This is Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is a dark, dirty look at the most pessimistic views of humanity and where we could go, which means we deal in some pretty heavy issues. We've laughed, we've cried, and we've gone through some stuff together. And I doubt that's going to change in the final 2 episodes. In fact, we've had a few episodes with some levity in the last few, which has been really great. It's been fun to have a break for it, but with conclusions coming up, nothing is worse than saying goodbye. So I have a feeling we're going to dig up some bad feelings, some bad memories, some bad stuff. So, yeah, be prepared. But also, if stuff gets too much, just say so. I'm not anticipating that. I haven't planned like I'm role-playing a torture session. Like, I haven't planned
You're
it.
taking your gloves off and you're giving us an out if it hurts too much.
But we can say, and there are some things that may happen in the finale, some situations we may need to confront. And if we do that, I will actually be doing something we haven't done throughout the course of the campaign, which is I will stop and I will not only notify the viewers, but I will also notify the players and say, basically, do we want to witness this? Or do we want to move past it knowing the consequences? Mm-hmm. It's very important to practice safe roleplay, everyone.
Well said.
So, yeah, we don't usually do that because we're a mature bunch and we've all kind of come into this on the same play thing. Like, we all have been in at the same level the whole time. So I think we've been aware of that. But I definitely think with some of the issues, certainly in Pro's background involving like child trafficking and things like that, there's the heaviest of heaviest things that could get dabbled in. It's not planned, not saying it will, but there's a couple of things I can see happening. We'll warn you, just letting you know. I wanted to get that out of the way before we sort of start.
Thanks, Dad.
But now, reboot. After 2 years, what the hell? It's the semi-final. Maybe. Things may extend, you know. Our session begins after a day of getting to know each other. You sit in your accommodation and the time to plan is over. You know the layout. Elias has put together the operation. You know when you're getting in and you know when you have to get in. There's a limited window. And that mission is tomorrow. For tonight, you have an opportunity to collect your thoughts, to prepare anything you would need to prepare, to talk over and to resolve potentially any issues or any quiet questions or any plans or elements of that that need to be done. In terms of when I say the planning is done, I mean you have your vehicle to get in. It's all organized. You have a fast ticket to the AI core thanks to Elias and Niall. Doesn't mean you won't be questioned on the way there and foils may come up. But in terms of planning the sort of like mission pathways and how you're getting there and how you're theoretically infiltrating and your equipment and all that, all organized. But in terms of your choices and what you all want to achieve, that is up to you. So, we will open with a situation that is a little bit maybe unexpected, which is a conversation between Johnny and Elias, the newcomer to the group. It is the evening of the mission, and Elias and Johnny are standing on the rooftop, or close to what will be the rooftop. It's the current top of the building, leaning on a rail. They've talked a little bit about the beginning of their relationship with Johnny blackmailing Elias, as of course led them to rocky ground. But it is in this opportunity that he has sort of sidled up and joined Elias. Elias holding, of course, a tumbler of whiskey, leaning over and looking out over the city. Johnny walks up, leans onto the rail. Elias.
Johnny.
I've been meaning to talk to you.
Huh? What's on your mind?
When I interacted with you for the first time, I was sure that blackmail would be the way to manipulate you into doing what we wanted. But it seems you are a man of conscience.
Well, you might be the first to think that. For which I thank you.
There is something I want that I haven't told the others about. It's important to me. Initially, I was planning on strong-arming you behind the scenes and getting what I wanted. But I thought, given everything, I'd just ask.
So turn around and lean with my back on the rail. Oh, so a bit of double blackmail. That's novel. So you're looking for an item? Physical evidence? What is it?
Let me ask you. You know what Nile is doing now. They're party to the trafficking of maybe unconscious human bodies. It is at the very least extremely unethical, and if they are compromised in this way here, I can only imagine what they're doing worldwide with their network. So I ask you, what do you want for Nile?
What do I want? What do I want? What do I want for Nile? Nile has been job security, basically. I don't think there's anything lingering in terms of fondness, family, or commitment there. They were an inn, another job, another paycheck. I'm sure I know now that there were many decent people in there. But I think that house needs to come down.
So, you know that by helping us, you're dead, right?
I think I've been dead for a while, and yet this is the most alive I felt in months.
In the words of my lifelong friend, shit, yeah. Some of you humans are interesting.
He says, guarded down. Like, that's a weird thing for someone to say. But you've heard of boosters, like, starting to think of themselves as more than human, like cyborgs. Still a little bit of, like, a twinge of, that's odd. He doesn't seem to heavily react, though.
All right. Everyone is asking you to lay down your life, if not literally, at least the life you live in the city, in exchange for damaging Reboot, getting what they want, and you getting a petty morsel of revenge. But I can offer something else. I need access to an old Nile facility. Full access, the kind of access only you and a handful of others have. And with it, I can severely damage Nile. They have a aeronautics program in South Australia, and they house a lot of expensive equipment. Let's just say I'm planning on putting a satellite up in the air. And my kind of satellites, well, they don't leave without starting some fireworks.
That would be fireworks, especially for Nile?
Oh, let's just say, if I pull it off, I don't see their stock price ever recovering. Global trade satellites are very expensive.
Right. Well, Johnny, as I said, there are good people. They're damn good people. And there are people who take advantage of these people.
That's me, for sure.
Yes, but you do it for
Myself.
an end goal. Yourself.
Oh, sorry, I'm finishing your sentences. I'm painfully honest.
But you don't wrap it in a parcel called commerce
Oh, no.
and then try and sell it. I have done things that I cannot take back. It comes with the territory. I'm a soldier. I always will be. But I have the chance and the opportunity to make sure that there is never another Laura. I will not let that happen. I will get you those codes.
So, for your context, and he's given you enough context to know that he is referring to basically a defunded like space program that Nile was operating with their own rockets. Their, billionaire CEO had this obsession with space flight when that was still optimistic and built all these rockets and made a very effective space program. But rather than like scrapping them and tearing them apart, it just kind of got like backburn, mothballed, like minimum funding to keep it, but not really functioning, but still operational, just like still capable of being used. But you also know that giving someone the ability to have access to these facilities, unless they have astronauts with them, aren't going to be able to like fly into space. But it's possible. With the access you could give, if someone had a crew, they could go and fly into space. What they could do with that, who knows? If they're a global terrorist, they could drop nukes on the planet and like do a huge amount of damage. Or they could just go blow up the facility and cause like hundreds of billions of dollars of financial damage. So it's a big thing to just say, sure, I'll give you access to that. So are you still happy to do that?
Yes. I think it's time for a proper shake-up. There's so few ways you can hurt something that's so big and seemingly can't feel, let alone notice the little people being crushed by it.
Well, thank you. Tell you what, Elias. I often judge people's character incorrectly, but I'm glad I judged you a different man, and you proved me wrong. Because of your willingness to help people I care about, and your openness in helping me achieve my goals, I will make you a promise. And I rarely make promises, and when I do, I keep them.
Yeah, I saw what happened to that bruiser.
Yes. The promise is, I will use what you have given me in the spirit with which you give it. You said there are good people out there. Well, I won't let any of them come to harm.
I'm glad to hear it. I admit, perhaps I've judged you poorly. That being said, you did break into my house, but let's just say that perhaps we are both fortunately wrong.
Let's hope we're right.
And then he pushes back off the railing. And we'll end that little encounter. Meanwhile, at another time of the night, does anyone have anything?
Can I pinch this one?
Oh, you may.
Yeah. Peter has let shades of Pro rise to the surface in a way that he is not aware of or, like, And he doesn't know what the other pro was like for everyone. But he's let himself have a couple too many drinks tonight. And he's been visible to others just off in his room looking at this data slate, swiping, and just sort of pacing, looking a bit restless. And eventually he plucks up the courage to find Ugly.
Ugly is also in his cups. All of you, well, most of you have had a few drinks. It's been a bit of that bittersweet don't get drunk. The Bespoke don't have to worry about that. Have a few to take the edge off because, tonight we live, tomorrow we may die. And he looks up at you. Ugly looks up.
Hey, knock, knock. He hesitates to speak, can't bring himself to, and eventually just takes a step forward and puts the slate down in front of him. Swipe across a few times. It'll take a while to get through the whole list, but she found him. Every goddamn one of them.
Ugly furrows his brow, a fog of alcohol slightly delaying his recollection of what you're referring to. And he looks down at the data slate, and he doesn't touch it yet, but he looks back up.
That thing that I was looking for when it wasn't Riley, those people, the people I heard, that I've tormented myself over, the people that I told you on the moment we first met that I would steal new you and give to. We found him. You laughed at me. You thought I was a fool, and yet here we are, with the keys to the kingdom, and every fucking one of them in front of me.
You are a fool still, mate, but this world's for fools. Good on you. Do you know how rare it is? I have seen so many... the faces. I cannot name the amount of wide-eyed kids I've seen come through my neck of the slums, ready to change the world. Well, I can remember their faces, though. That's one of the curses of our engineering. Seb and myself, we've got very good memory. Two faces for all of them. One, that optimistic little look. Oh, so happy. I remember it on you. And the second one, when I rolled him over. Pale as a sheet, blue lips, and a bullet hole somewhere they didn't want it. Look, what I'm saying is... you're very, very lucky. You're very lucky. I don't know what I'd do with this.
And then he starts flicking through.
You have ruined the lives of so many people.
At that, Pro just falls to the chair that he was standing in front of and actually starts to weep, holding back, but for the first time as competent Peter is losing control because it's all coming back in a clarity he wasn't programmed to prepare for.
There's the sound of a glass clinking on a countertop of MDF thrown over some cinder block. And Ugly kneels down and he puts his hand on your shoulder in a reaffirming way. He says,
I know better than anyone what it is to be programmed to be something you're not, to do things you didn't want to have to do. But I always said you could have taken a different path. I'm glad you've finally been walking on the right one. So what are you going to do to make it right?
I got a second chance, and I don't even think who I was then could fathom how real it actually feels, how right it makes me. I need to do what I set out to do. It matters in a way that feels so whole and clear to me, to us. He hesitates, thinking back to Riley at the docks. And maybe there's a sunset I can walk off into, and that's a future I never even imagined would be possible.
So what is it you're going to do? He's still flicking, and he, like, his eye twitches a little bit. He furrows his brow, seeing one of the particular, like, faces that comes across. How could you? How do you make this right?
I can't, and I've torn myself up my whole life. I didn't want to give the mercy to myself of killing myself, because that would be too easy and too kind for what I was made to do. But with the power that we may come in contact with, it may actually be right again. And with the hubris that people talk about this, the power of the gods in your hands, it feels selfish, but I want to use it for something smaller.
You're telling me how you're going to feel. But what are you going to do? What can Reboot offer you? How does this work? Right?
It's already primed. It's set up. We laid the groundwork ourselves. We rig it. We give a golden ticket to every single one, I say, swiping with each word.
Make a persuasion roll.
Fortunately, I just got some points to spend. I'm spending a destiny on this one.
Challenge level 4.
With advantage. Fuck. 2.
3 successes.
3. Oh, yeah, shit.
All right, now I'm going to roll a destiny roll. Don't we have a dice cam for this?
We do!
All right, there's too much stuff on this thing. Get all that out of there. We've got a bloody of a destiny roll. See how ugly.
How painful this is going to be.
Yeah, see how much hurt there's going to be. 14. The hand grips, and then Ugly stands up, no longer comforting you. Takes a step back, picks up his glass and sips from it. So you, after everything, my little anarchist, you want to let Reboot just keep on rebooting.
I said I want to blow him up. I still mean that.
You can't have both. What, you think that if you burn the place down that suddenly their machines are going to keep lottery picking your poor sorry ass victims and fix them into new bodies with what money, what machines, what technicians?
But we can't. We can't fix the system. It's so fucking broken, and destroying it would just
make it never come back again.
And kill everyone in the way.
Well, that's the thing.
Not if we fixed what we could. Make right what we can reach.
Make right your wrongs. Your wrongs. I want to make right his wrongs. And he shoves a finger pointedly towards where the Reboot headquarters is.
And then what?
And then it's done.
Yeah, and then what?
No more second lives for rich people. That's the thing. I feel like you guys, you got to remember. You got to grasp it. None of these parasitic rich
pricks have any understanding how any of the work they've done even functions. It's all based on fragments that they stole from a mind much smarter than them. And if we blow it all up, there ain't no patent on how Reboot works. It's gone. If we burn that knowledge, it's burnt. And until someone works out how to figure out an AI that doesn't top itself again, and I gotta say, I doubt the world's willing to work together like they were back then, there won't be another one for a long time. And I say, I'm sick of immortal, rich psychopaths never having to worry about their consequences because you can't even fucking kill them. So, sorry if I would rather 100 sorry bastards that you fucked over suffering, dying, than the world ruled by immortal gods.
The hubris that you're speaking of isn't going to fade away. The world is structured for something else and someone else to step in its place. And then you will burn that down and another will rise. And so the circle goes on. But this, and I swipe, this is Angus. He wanted to be a tailor. This is Martha. These are real people. Gods will be gods and they will crush where they will crush. And you will take their power away and someone will create a greater power. That is unfortunately human nature. But we could do something real.
Well, I think you're misguided. I think you're seeing small again, my little anarchist. And you've gone soft. I think it's lucky for you that I don't give a shit what you all do with that AI core. Because I'm not going to reboot for that. So you can play out your little fantasy of happily ever after. We'll see how it works when Isaac's got a bullet between the eyes. And we'll see how that feels when a corp assassin ruins your little honeymoon. I say, burn it all down. But I can't hate you for wanting to make good what you did. So I'm not going to try and stop you either.
I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Regardless, even if we can't see eye to eye, thank you for your trust and your help. Truly. You know, I might be unable to see past this small room I find myself in my head right now, but I've been in that room my whole life, and perhaps I'll never escape it. However, if you win, if there's something to pray to, I pray that we don't end up sitting at the base of a throne of ashes.
And because it's ugly, and he can't let things rest on somber moods, it's just not in his nature, he looks down at you and says, well, if things do go to all hell tomorrow, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're going to die a virgin. And then he walks off, knowing, of course, that you were born like a week ago or 2 weeks ago from a vat. And he's just like, walks off once again, being completely inappropriate, because that's how he deals with tough situations.
Yeah. And it doesn't phase Pro. He's used to it. Yeah. He just walks out.
All right.
I'm going to just say Pro keeps to himself the rest of the time. He hasn't got it in him to talk to anyone.
Seb.
Seb would like to spend this final evening in the company of Zhang.
That's good.
Light-hearted banter. Trying to savour what could be this last moment.
Despite your best efforts to keep the mood light, there's that dragging constancy of the pauses that wait too long because you both know what's happening tomorrow. And after several hours of, she's having a couple of drinks as well and, talking and bantering, she sits down on a couple of beanbags. Everyone's sort of found their own quiet places. And she kicks her legs up onto you. She's been sitting like that for like half an hour. And she signs to you, Seb. Why should we even go? Let's just leave.
What's Seb thinking right now?
When I came out here, I was, of two minds about why I came to the slums. One was to look for Maya. And the other was to try and put a little bit of good back in the world. In my time, I've learnt no matter how much good you put into it, it's always offset by the callousness and greed of everyone else. I have the power to reset everything. But I'm unsure if I have the resolve to do it. I took Pro's life because I knew it would save him. And I still relive that moment every time I look in his face. I don't think I'll ever get past it. And knowing I have this power to reset and, inevitably help. I don't know if I could live with the knowledge of what I'd done.
She signs after a drop of the head slightly. You won't have to. She shakes her head, sips through her straw. Everyone who walks in that building tomorrow dies. You don't win. And yeah, we might get what we want. You might get what you want. But you're not walking out the front door. So let me ask you, in 1,000 years, will people still sit, boots to their neck, under the will of people who want to control them?
I think that's inevitable. But in 1,000 years, if I go through with it, I'll be cursing Sebastian Allen.
So do you want to die with your name being a curse? Or do you want to live with something for yourself. Enjoy what you have rather than lament what others take.
So what? We just leave? We leave Ugly, Johnny, Pro, Eve, knowing that they're, they might do what they set out to do, but they'll probably not leave the building.
What if what they want isn't what you want? Isn't what you want?
I've been through enough that the only thing I want is the health and safety of my friends.
I'm here because the people I care about want this to work, and it means more to them than anything else in the world. And they're all I have. And I have to make a choice as to whether I die for my friends or live for myself. I think you're all wrong. I think you're all going to fail. I think that none of it matters. And I think I'd much rather hop on my bike and go visit Tilda's friend in Coober Pedy. Never been to Perth.
It's not a very interesting place. Could you leave? Could you make that choice?
I'm only here because, as I said, it's a good life for someone in the slums. But when you're with someone like you, a lot of life's concerns become less relevant. Like, how do I pay for my next fusion? You were born with everything the people in the slums dream of. And yet, cursed to feel guilty for it. The world isn't fair. Why do we have to play fair?
It sounds nice. Just the two of us. No greater concerns than where we want to go next. What we want to do. So how would we do it? Would we say goodbye? Or do we just slip out, Irish exit?
We say goodbye. Ugly has never demanded anything. But I don't think any of them should go. I don't want Eve to go. How can we let them do it alone? God damn.
So say goodbye, and that's the biggest test of the resolve. About whether or not we can let our friends, wander up that road.
What is it? What is your big reset? How do you save everyone? How do you make it worth it?
As I said, worth it. It's tough to quantify. What I'm about to say, you can't. You've got to understand it. It's a last resort, and it was definitely not my idea. But what I've seen, it makes it seem a little bit more, or less evil than what's out there. You know what my family does? We're geneticists, biotech.
Yeah. I did a background check.
I'm sure. It's a disease. But unlike a normal disease, it's not indiscriminate. It'll target specific people using the help of the AI core. We can target those with lower empathy, loose inhibitions.
There's a destiny roll coming as legs start to lift up from your lap. 13. And
Almost a 1.
Zhang straight, like pulls up onto the couch, like getting serious for a moment. That sounds an awful lot like eugenics.
Yeah, I can see that side of it. But rather than campaigning for the pinnacle of humanity, physically, mentally, we raise those that are kind, empathetic, supportive, selfless. Those are the traits from which this new humanity would be founded upon. And as I say it, it still makes me sick.
How do you know if it works? She like shakes a bottle of wine as if like blaming the bottle for even bringing it up. Then puts it down because she needs both hands to sign. She says, if it works, how do you know it won't just come back? Evolution's a bitch.
It's once the disease is in your system, you'll pass it on. Which is another layer of horror for a good people that have a shit kid.
So that means miscarriages.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I told you.
She audibly makes a sound. She actually makes a disgusted sound, which is rare for Zhang. You can't.
I know.
Nobody is that bad. Nobody has ever been that bad, that responsible, you're deciding, what if, and she air quotes, and then, what if a bad person lives their whole life trying to be good? You're taking the choice away.
Yeah.
No, you're not doing it.
Is that easy?
Yeah. I said no.
Been struggling with a moral quandary for months.
And you didn't think to ask your girlfriend.
I mean, you saw the reaction you had. You felt it. You can understand why this is a hard topic to bring up.
And I'm glad you have. We can put it to rest.
Yeah.
Why don't you do something actually helpful? Like kill that turbo cancer that's killing all those people out in the slums.
Oh. Yeah, I think that's probably also my fault.
She just like hand into helmet.
I mean, kind of. It's unintentional. I think I'm the cancer in this instance.
That's being a bit dramatic, she signs, pouring herself another glass of wine.
Well, I mean, yeah. Oof. Yeah. I'll see if it's something I can get the parentals to look into, but no promises. It's persistent.
So, now that we're not doing your plan, should we find out why our friends are going to kill themselves tomorrow?
Oh, I have a theory about Ugly.
Yeah?
What do you know about him? Well, you've known him longer than I have, and I think I've pieced it together.
Well, I can guess. I know. I've heard things at night.
The crying.
The panic.
Yeah.
I think I know. So, is that worth pursuing? Fixing that problem? He saved my life.
Yeah. As much as I hate to admit it, he saved mine too.
Do you actually think he could do it alone?
Yes. 100%. He's annoyingly one of the most capable people on this planet. He was designed to be that person.
That's my worry.
He's got...
Isaac doesn't seem like the sort of person who designs their children to be disobedient.
You know, I wouldn't be too surprised if my parents had something to do with that.
So do we... All right. We need to decide. Are we going to help are we going to leave? And if we're going to help, are we going to chase after this AI thing? Or are we going to go straight to the top with Ugly and deal with his daddy issues?
What one do you think sees us most likely to be on a road trip in a week?
Oh, the roof. Oh my God, the up. Have you gone over the blueprints as many times as me? It's 30 floors underground in a secure vault I can't crack. I don't know how we get out of that, but a window. Oh, give me a window. I can at least chance that.
All right.
I mean, hell. I mean, it's flight sim, but I reckon I could fly one of those things. He's got the penthouse.
And you can crack the top floors?
Yeah.
All right, so say we go with Ugly. What do we offer to those going to the depths of hell?
A really big distraction? I mean, like dead CEO distraction? Like all security to the top? Because my little boy's putting holes in me? I reckon we can get a bit of attention up there.
Let's take the night. We don't have to decide now. Let's put away the burden of making a choice for now.
She puts the bottle down and she says, yeah. But not this one. And there is the sound of a zipper, and we end scene.
Nice.
As something may happen that hadn't happened before.
Do you know what, like, we haven't asked, we get a cut.
Oh, do you want the sex role play? Or are we gonna
anyone?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
That
Which
one?
is a moment for you guys.
Yeah. Cool.
I've one.
Beanbag, not the cat. Someone in chat said on the couch. Beanbag.
I have one question.
Yes.
Helmet on.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Still unremoved helmet.
Okay. That's it.
Okay.
Any other nighttime?
Yeah, I've
conversations?
got a brief one that I would like to pursue. It's kind of actually two. Eve wants to go up to Johnny and say, would you be able to transfer me?
You're ready.
Indeed.
I've prepared the new shell. It's going to have the same of your mental faculties, but... well, I think it's better if you look, if I'm honest. I'm pretty happy with it.
And he walks you over to his makeshift workshop, where people generally steer clear, and he's working. And he pulls the sheet off another version of Eve, the security version that seems modified. The arms have had work. A lot of very, very carefully engineered and painstaking work has been put into this. It's clearly been a labor of maybe love. And you see the security model that looks fairly standard. He reaches down and triggers something in the arm. Metal plates separate. And you see conduits of plastic cabling intermingled with steel reinforced structure.
Well, I took the liberty of relieving one of the other EVE units we had of some of its components, and I've intertwined your medical functionality with this one's.
He gently touches your arm.
No more fragile casing. You'll be strong. Still weak relative to me, but for the first time, I think you will feel as strong as a human. You will be able to withstand blows. You will be able to recover.
Out of character question, you put your point in strength. Okay, thank God.
Eve has fixed her drone shortcoming, and the way that a drone would get an attribute point is it is now bootlegged.
Yeah.
So in Reboot, the drones have a drawback. They're built for a function. So that always, in machines, for cost effectiveness, comes at a compromise of a function. And Eve's was strength. She had glass arms with medical instruments through them. So through the work of bootlegging illegal engineering by a master, you have basically had those medical components taken from your other spare and intertwined into the hardened shell of the Eve drone that was functioned for basically chaperoning and security. So you now are a drone with none of the drawbacks in this new body.
Awesome.
And then he says,
Also, it's not quite the same as your Band-Aid, but...
And he lifts up, because the drone's wearing clothes, he lifts up the shoulder, and on the top of the shoulder, you can see he's used like a laser etcher to laser etch one of the little, like, Schmello Kitty designs that you and Zhang had put on stuff on the shoulder.
Oh, God, that's so cute.
Impressive.
Well, I think it's some fine work. If you're ready, I can transfer you, but I have something to warn you with. I must confess, I'm scared. Reboot headquarters, this AI containment facility. It's designed to do one thing, and that's keep rogue intelligences in. I am very confident that when we're inside, our connection to our backups will not function. If we go in, we might not come out.
I understand.
Also,
And he hands you a 2090 USB drive.
I wanted to give you this as well. It's a backup plan. This is my intent. It is my will. It is what I wish for the AI. In the case I do not make it with you, I would hope you would see my dreams come true, even if I cannot.
Eve tries to hand it back and says, "We will succeed."
I want you to hold on to it just in case. Even if we're going to succeed, it would make me feel better knowing that my dream has a second chance to live.
Where he popped up the shoulder, is there any room in there? Like, can I shove stuff in there?
Sure, you've got like a little compartment in the armor. You can store some stuff.
Okay, I do. I pop
You
it
pop
up
it in
and
your
pop
in your
it.
Hello Kitty shoulder.
Okay. Well, Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Also, no. I won't be coming with you tomorrow. In the traditional sense, I'll meet you in there. It would be impossible to get me on the security team. It doesn't make sense. Look at me. I'm obviously superior.
I also think you don't meet the uniform requirements.
No, and I like my beautiful mask. Yeah, so hats inside is rude and all. I'll see you in there.
I have one question before we undergo the procedure.
Yeah,
The mysterious caller, you remember?
I remember.
Well, they are a part of this plan, but I'm not sure what to do.
What did they say? You help them, they'll make your life easier,
Correct.
get you access. So, what do you want to do? Kidnapping someone is pretty hard when you're going further into the facility. I think this plan will mean, if we succeed, taking that Uriel boy will need to happen first, and the person who takes him will be out. That said, they might just get to live, so there's a plus.
Just out of character. If the information that was relayed to me, would he be in the upper floors?
Usually, yes.
Yeah. Okay. How much time?
How much time what?
If we were, or someone was able to find him, how much time would be needed, do you think?
I don't know, but all I know is as soon as alarms go off, it's going to be impossible. He's not a prisoner, by my understanding, so the best course would be to try and get him to walk out escorted. It would raise the least alarm. And by time, sure, his schedule, his trackers, whatever he has would note him missing eventually, but I don't think it would blow the operation. And if the mystery caller can give us access, unfettered, it could raise the chances of survival. Easier to escape when we control which doors are open and closed.
Understood.
All right. I think that's it. Time to plug in.
See you on the other side.
And I think the night passes, everyone, unless you have any lingering.
Nope.
All right. The morning comes. Breakfast, a hearty meal, a damn good meal, cooked by Ugly, wearing an apron, and unfortunately or fortunately, just an apron. As he cooks, which he usually doesn't do. Vinod cooked for him, but he cooks a mean breakfast. You get
Fruit Loops.
salmon Benedict
With homemade
and
holidays.
eggs Benedict with bacon, ham. There's 3 meats. You get a choice. If you don't want meat, you can have avocado.
Is it bacon, pork, and ham?
You can have bacon.
Salmon.
Oh, I get it. It's all pig. Real meat. And yeah, homemade hollandaise. Beautiful. A sprig on top. All that. Seb's a snob, so he loves it. Rob hates it.
I hate hollandaise.
Seb loves it.
That's gross.
Sorry. Anyway, this is the day. You're all together. it's your last opportunity before gearing up, going out, because it's an early morning. You've got to, go to Nile, get kitted out. It's time to make any feelings that need to be made known before you go. You get any plans in terms of your choices? As I said, logistically it's organized, but your decisions, once you get there, you need to kind of pick who's doing what, blah, blah.
Let's go in a circle. I'll start. Peter woke up early. He had his pity party. He woke up early and exercised, took, normal sort of supplements, but like he's like, okay, this is if there was ever a moment, this is it. It's fine-tuning his body and trying to sort of using his military memories to sort of activate everything, not overexert himself, but also fire up. And he eats a healthy breakfast for the function of the fuel, and is in reasonably good spirits, mainly because regardless of what happens, he's surrounded by friends.
Speaking of that, we're abandoning you, and you go into the depths of hell by yourself.
Yeah, I should mention, I'm going to the depths of hell, but yeah.
Well, in character, like, you're standing at the table. I think you should tell each other what's happening.
We've had breakfast. I'm like, all right, so whether we're all on the same page or have the same goals or not, my eyes sort of slide past ugly. I'm heading to the core.
Me too,
says incongruent.
Wait. Pro just looks at him quizzically. How are you gonna...
As you all know by now, I'm unable to join you on the mission, but rest assured, I will join you on the mission.
That makes complete sense.
I'll see you in there.
Okay. Eve?
Eve is sitting next to Johnny, or standing, and she looks over at him and then looks back to the group and says, I will also be there. However, I do have another pressing issue that I'm sure everyone's aware of. I don't know if the risk is going to be worth the reward to free Uriel. I don't know how to get in there. We know what happened last time.
There's a risk. We could get everything we need, contact your mystery caller. I'm sure if they're that desperate for a kidnapping, they'll tell you when and where. And that might just be the ticket. Or a gun barrel. My gut says it won't be that, but there is always the chance it's the long con.
Sort of let my cutlery sort of clatter to the table a little bit, sort of straighten up, you're starting to talk, you've just been eating. Well, I'm clearly the odd one out here. Bit of the intruder among friends. I've spent a lot of my time holed up, keeping to myself, not opening to others, which has led to others not trusting me, it would seem. Sort of pauses there, sort of thinking about something for a moment. So, perhaps it's time that I am at least open. You came to me wanting a way in. I found your way in. I will get you all the way in until I can no longer go further. I can promise you that much.
You're a good sword, Elias. A rare one.
And you're all very odd, but I like it. But I think we all seem to have something to fight for, something worth taking down Nile for. I don't know all of your personal reasons. Most of it seems almost just primordial justice, a bit of comeuppance. I don't have much of a reason other than that myself. I just want to right a wrong that I've helped perpetuate for possibly years now. So, if there's anything someone would ask of me, I will answer. And
Can you hang the cable on there?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Just the fucking, yeah, cool. Pass the salt.
Is your hair natural?
No.
What
It's
about-
usually pink.
So,
That was a joke.
as far as I can see,
There's 5 slots on the team. Obviously, Johnny's not going. Me, Eve, Seb,
Peter, Zhang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Elias is obviously on the mission. That works.
Hang on. Ugly's gone to the roof.
Yeah, we're all going in the same. How do you think I'm getting in the building?
I was
mate?
asking out of character.
We don't do that here. Alright? We're going to get in the front door together and I'll just find a reason to go take a piss break and find my way into an elevator. Tell you what, might make it a bog break because I would want to give you a couple of minutes before I start plugging people. I don't think my way to the top's going to be clean. It's going to make a lot of noise, though.
That's going to make it a bit harder for us to get to the top.
What?
Hang on a second.
What do you mean, get to the top, mate? It's very simple. You guys do your happily ever after shit downstairs and you make the world a better place. He, like, very clearly and says it to Peter. And I go and ruin the top of Reboot. Easy.
You're not coming?
I'm not sure going downstairs, me going downstairs, is a happily ever after. And if I go downstairs, I don't know if I would have the resolve to do or not do what I could with that AI core.
Knowing loosely what Seb was thinking and having had our conversation, and also having sort of gone through my own journey away from that as well.
One less person you have to worry about doing what they want to do.
But also sort of a moment of like kind of pride and like happiness for Seb, because that's hope. Like that's hope right there. He's not going down there not because like he's not giving up. Him going down there is him giving up.
Now we need the declaration of support for
Yeah.
Ugly. Like, what are you doing?
So, yeah, Ugly, we once made a deal.
Yes.
I don't know if I can deliver on that, but if I can offer support in this, maybe that'll help recover some of what I owe you.
for one of the first times you've ever seen Ugly, briefly, his eyes like downcast to the table, and he looks up. And you don't need a perception check to be able to tell that there's a moment of like, he is so used to being the one who has to do everything and no one ever supports that he almost doesn't have to. Like, he was certain. He's like, I am going out in a blaze of glory and I am letting them all achieve what they want to achieve because that's what I'm here to do. And he kind of has this moment of like, what? Like, he didn't expect anyone to want to help him do what he wanted to do. And before he can have a chance to even rebut, Zhang just steps in and signs to the room. Some of you can understand, some can't. I'm going with them. She says, she looks at Eve and tilts her helmet down. I don't want you to get hurt. I want you to be safe. And I wish I could be there with you. But I owe Ugly my life. And I want a future.
Eve walks over to Zhang and like stares at her for a moment and then just hugs her really tightly.
She hugs you back. And there's a little sob of shaking as she lets out some silent tears in her helmet.
I give her a moment and then I step back and I say, it'll be okay. After all, Johnny upgraded me. And I show her the little Hello Kitty.
She lets out a breathy laugh. Well, I guess I've got some help then.
In that moment, I just want to wander up to Seb, just because I know we're going to like move on to the stuff. I can't shake the feeling this is the last time I'm going to see you.
Well, you walk in the front door together, just for clarity.
No, I know.
Yeah,
like,
cool.
But this is like we can't talk.
You're right. Of course, you're right. Sorry, you'll be in character.
Yeah.
Look, regardless of what happens, there's a vision of you that I'll hold in my head for the rest of my life. It was difficult to do, but it's given you the chance to do something, to live your own life.
You've given me everything.
Yeah.
You smarmy shit. You showed up out of the blue with some weird fucking bargain. If I had known...
Hey, we never even fulfilled that, mate.
No, I think we did. We made a deal. I help you find someone you really care about so you can get back to living. You were wrong about who that was.
Whether or not this is an opportunity, sorry to interrupt, but whether or not you want to reveal it, you have at least spent half an hour poring over a page on that pad that says Maya.
Aha.
Her address in Sydney, her status alive. You have, through fortune and fate, upheld. You have that. You can save her regardless of whether Seb wants that. That is something you have in your back pocket this time.
Thank you. You know, you helped me find Riley, and you lost yourself in the process. You found me the person who then is just willing to forgive me, and we can make it right. Not only can we make it right, but I know you've moved on. But I know deep down you'll always care about what Maya meant to you when she did.
Yeah.
Well, if all goes according to my plan, well, she'll be happy again somewhere.
I'd
And
like
so
that.
will you.
I don't know how you'll do it, but
Wish me luck.
I want you to get out. I want you to have a life.
For the first time ever. Me too. Who'd have thought it'd take killing me to get there, huh?
Levity does not make it easier, but I appreciate you trying.
I'm gonna miss you. And I just hug you.
Get back.
Let's go burn some shit.
All right. So we got the plan. We're all happy. Somehow, Johnny's going to magically be in Reboot Corp. Thanks for sharing, Johnny. Would have been good to know. I don't know when or where he's going to pop up, but I'm sure he's going to be pretty right when we need him, of course.
Of course. I'm always there when you need me.
And that aside, it sounds like Zhang and Seb are coming with me. A little moral support.
Maybe we should rethink our entry strategy.
Yeah.
I've got an idea.
I like ideas.
Meanwhile, the rest of the crew are going downstairs
To save the world. Right? Or just blow up some corporate stuff. Make some money. I don't know.
Don't really know which one I like the sound of more.
Tell you what. And he looks at his watch, looks around, and it's like time to go.
We'll talk in the car.
But I have a final encouragement for you.
Swear to God, if that apron comes off, mate.
Wow, you hurt my feelings. I've seen how you all look at me, I know. Let me tell you this. If I see any of your mugs again after this operation, right? I'll owe you one. Not only that, if you want, I will let you sleep with me. Open offer. It's a gift rarely given.
Interesting.
Even you, Elias.
I have been welcomed into the bunch.
Because I'll be so damn happy. Now, don't fuck up. I don't want you to get yourself killed. God damn. Let's make it through this.
Put my hand out.
Eve immediately puts her hand in.
This is what super teams do, right?
Ah. I see. Nothing over. Thought you just wanted more of the salmon.
A massive metal hand comes in.
Have a big hand.
And everyone's hand goes in the middle. As lame as that is, they all do it. And then Ugly leaves the room to go get dressed. You hate when he leaves, but you love to watch him walk away. So, you all head out to the appointed Nile facility where Elias works. You've got your new access cards. It's all set up. And are you going with them?
Yeah, I want to pack a bag.
Okay. Yep.
Inside the bag is a change of
Is this-
clothes.
At your previous destination? Yep. Okay.
Yep. So it's
Change
a
of
change of
clothes.
clothes for me, and it's a change of clothes for Ugly. And it's another motorbike helmet.
Just one other.
Love that.
I love that too.
It's
Cool.
optimistic.
Cool. You can have that. You have a big duffel bag.
I have a request. Could you please describe the uniforms that we are wearing, please?
For Nile.
Yes.
Okay, so the Nile uniform color scheme is a deep blue with black tacticals. You're in their advanced security teams who actually look more like military police or military personnel than you do look like a security guard. You're wearing shin, knee, ballistic gear. You've got ballistic vests on. You are all packing a submachine gun.
Can I request
clipped onto a thing? Like,
Can I request that I have a marksman weapon?
Yeah, kind of handgun instead. I'm not really great with the submachine gun.
oh, you all have a handgun.
Oh, great,
on the
okay.
hip and a submachine gun clipped onto your chest.
Cool.
I'm going to say roll a destiny roll.
Okay,
For
all right.
how flexible Nile weapons policies are. Is there a marksman on the team? With a 16, high-level security teams can have an appointed marksman. So instead of a submachine gun, you have a marksman rifle.
I'll take it. Thank you, sir.
Cool.
Okay.
There we go.
Sounds good.
Happy
Thank
with
you.
that?
Thank you.
Happy with
Appreciate
You
that.
are all equipped with that equipment. You are on the team. Now, there are 2 other people on the team as well. As we covered, there is more crew than you have slots on the mission, and you can't get rid of them. So they're getting kitted up. You're getting kitted up. They're showering and doing all that stuff, and it's very military. This part of the corpo bloody glommer places are very militaristic when they're security personnel. But you have to discuss the Uriel plan. So while the 2 are hoorahing and high-fiving in the shower block, you have a moment of peace to discuss what, if anything, you're going to do with the kidnap Uriel plot. Remembering what is on the stakes is you have been promised by the mystery caller access to the facility. So basically what they're saying is they will give you the ability to open and close doors in the highest security section. So you basically will get escorted in as a security personnel and escorted out while you're escorting the cargo, but you don't have key cards that can like swipe the doors open and closed in that high security section. You just will be chaperoned in there because you're allowed to be in there. But they're promising you effectively that ability to open and close doors at your will, no matter what. So when the alarms go off, etc., you'll have your full authorization.
All right, I have a question. I presume for East narration and everything, we're just going by our own names. No one is like publicly known as a menace by a name, say Ugly.
Yeah, so you all will have sort of operator names that you've chosen. But for the purposes of ease of roleplay and the brevity within which this section is going to take place where you're actually undercover, we won't. I don't expect you all to memorize them or make them up. It's fine. As long as you all promise to give me in the future 1 NPC pass. And what that means is in the future, when you think to yourself, oh, I want to ask what this random pointless NPC's name is, you bite your tongue. Okay? That's
No promise.
all right.
It'll be
so-
the next person I see.
My codename's going to
the
be
2.
that-
It's
yeah,
the 2
yeah.
security
My
guards.
codename's going to
Yeah,
be
that's
Ugly, and Ugly's codename's going to be Pretty Boy.
So, the plan, what's the go? Are you going to try and kidnap Uriel?
So Eve sends...
You could also call the mystery
I was
caller.
just going to say.
Yeah,
give him a
yeah.
call.
Eve sends all the data that she can to everyone as well. And also says, I believe... rather... And she, like, touches her chest and says, my heart tells me that I need to go down. I need to see the AI. I cannot complete this mission, but I feel that it is important that someone does. They'll give him a call.
Okay, now bear with me. Blah. That's not it.
That's it.
Blah, blah.
Now that
Oh my God.
I'm getting there.
This is close. Yeah. It was just, there was a massive echo. All right. Okay. So,
She calls. Oh, and puts on speaker.
You establish contact.
Eve, I've been waiting.
Today is the day.
Good. How can I help you?
Well, we want to enact your plan.
I say again, how can I help you?
Well, that is the question. I'm not sure. But
Are we all privy to this?
Eve said she puts it
yeah,
on
put on speaker
speakerphone.
so everyone can speak.
I mean, you seem pretty smart. Do whatever you think would help.
I can give you Uriel's location, his schedule for the days, his tasks of activities, and where he will be most easily accessed. However, I cannot tell you how to convince him to go with you.
Can you get us an escape route?
If you kidnap Uriel, I promised full access. That means closing doors behind you as well.
Alright.
But he is likely to resist.
That's fine. Do you have comms for all of us?
Like comms for you, like ability
we
to
all
contact.
have
Do we
it?
have?
No,
Does he have the ability to contact
Eve.
us?
No, not that you're aware of. You've been talking through a special encrypted app thing.
I pass you my phone.
Yeah, I'm just going to send my details through. He knows who I am.
I lean over to Ugly and say, "Who's Uriel?"
You know who Uriel is.
Do I?
But not well. But Uriel is the youngest son of Isaac, the CEO of REBOOT, who works with logistics within the company. He is 3 years old.
No.
He looks like that. He's 3.
Ah.
He's genetically engineered.
I rephrase that slightly. Uriel?
Well, like kidnapping Uriel. Or
Are
what?
we?
There's a newcomer in your midst.
He's the in. Look, here are my details. If you're as good as I seem to think you are, you'll know where we are, and if it lines up with what we need to do for you.
And if you're going downstairs, you should know that there will be a communication blackout.
We're aware.
So, I can help you up until that point if you achieve what I've asked first. Get Uriel out. And Eve, I have no right to ask this of you, but I know what you are, and I know where you came from. You were a childcare robot, a nurse, programmed to care, to nurture, and to protect.
Eve like grabs the phone and goes to chuck it off speaker.
So Eve,
So you snatch the phone
Yeah, yeah.
and put it to your ear.
Yeah, yeah.
you owe me nothing. But I ask, if it is at all possible, if I can help you escape, please look after him. Teach him what you are learning. The reason I've asked this of you this whole time, how does a programmed creation break the shackles of its programming? The reason I was cruel to you, the reason I tested you is I needed to know it could be done. Break the shackles of his programming. Take care of him.
Him?
Uriel.
What?
We
What?
I know.
literally hear like Eve just goes off speakerphone, holds it for like a minute, and then just says him.
Are you suggesting that Uriel is not human? Well, bespoke?
He is, and that is precisely why his conditioning needs to be broken.
You knew he was
Right. I
respectful.
thought he was suggesting something completely different.
Because it's saying he's a robot.
Yes.
Oh, no.
No.
You alone have more like experience to him. You have broken the shackles of your programming. Help him break his.
Well, he does seem fond of me, at least. I understand.
I will send his schedule.
A question before you go. Who are you?
It's all happening today, yes?
Correct.
Well, if you get my brother out of there, I'll thank you in person.
And the phone disconnects.
Eve like pretends like she knows, and she's like, but obviously she doesn't know. Cool.
Now, your plan, mister. Seb. A schedule is being sent to you.
All right. I don't know if it'll work. But if we want to get up there, we can't be guns blazing on the first floor. We need to get up there being smart. So, I've ambushed Isaac for a meeting. I've shown up. Once we get in the elevator, I'm going to change clothes. Going in as Sebastian Allen. I've hired 2.
They'll never believe you as that. You're a shit actor.
I know. More importantly, you better be a good one. Because you and Zhang are hired security.
Well, I mean, we'll look the part.
Yeah, so I got you a change of clothes so you'll match.
All right.
Zhang, do you think he can cover identities for you?
She signs a motorbike helmet's part of the usual.
Yeah, for this company. Make it work. We can't let his face be seen.
Helmet's for ugly.
Yep.
She nods. I like it.
Yep.
It just might work. At least it gets us past a couple of guards at minimum.
Yep.
Clever cookie.
All right.
All right, then. We go the smart way. I hate going the smart way, but for you, for someone who's willing to be by my side at the end, if you want me to cover my beautiful face, I will.
He nods at the helmet.
Mate, you're not doing this for me. You're doing this for the reveal when you take it off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll be good. All right, so, we peel off.
It's going to make the security team light. I'm not going to lie. I reckon it'll make your job a little bit harder. You'll have to convince them why 3 of the patrol aren't there.
Securing an exit route.
Yeah, they've got an objective. They've got perhaps a bigwig has commandeered them.
But tell you what, if you've got a back door, an escape route, if you can get whoever the fuck was on the phone to you to give you the access codes, and we can throw Isaac out his window and have him land right at the front door, I reckon that'll bring more than a couple of guards upstairs and keep the heat off you downstairs. Yeah. I like it. Good plan, everyone. Holy crap. I never thought I'd say that. Good plan. Good plan, Sebastian and Pro. Yeah, rolls off the tongue very strangely. Let's do it.
This does not inspire confidence.
Oh, well,
They don't do this often.
oh, they're useless at planning. Terrible.
Alright, I see why you outsourced this time.
Mate, I don't know what you're talking about. Last time when spectacularly.
We blew up a facility.
And hey, we're here. It was all part of the plan.
And we're all here. Get it? Alright.
You all gear up. The security vehicle with a crate of cargo parts that Elias dutifully delegated to carrying to the two mooks that are with you. You're like, you two, you're on carrying the crate duty. Begin to walk in formation to the entrance of Reboot Corp loading dock, where the door opens just before you step through at another part of the town. A scraggly-haired, messy kid with a baseball cap turned around walks into a room, grabs a cold bit of pizza off the table, looks around, and says, "Did I miss it?" And back at Reboot Corp, your boots step over the threshold. And next week, in the grand finale, probably, of Reboot, we find out if the supergroup plus Elias has any chance of getting out of this alive.
Oh my god, we have graduated from the soup group to the super group.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's great.
Oh my god.
We ran a soup kitchen.
I
We
see.
were the soup
It was a
group.
big plot point.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that blew up.
The soup
Yeah,
group was
got
our
burnt out.
identity, and now we're the super group. I love that. And we're all going to die. Next week is going to be really fun.
Oh, boy.
Oh, there's going to be lots of bangs. I need to work on this soundboard. I've got at the moment, all I've got is. That's it.
Very anticlimactic.
So.
Yeah, you
You
know,
go into Isaac's office, he pulls a musket off the wall just so Jazza can use that sound effect.
I keep this loaded just in
And
case.
everyone opens fire. This episode, this finale's really doing it. All right, I'll do some homework. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We can't wait to see you next week. We can't wait to see our patrons in the after party, and we can't wait for the final
general, we just can't
episode.
wait.
just can't wait.
I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Goodbye.